This video addresses Common Core Standard K.CC.6, in which children identify whether the number of objects in one group is greater than, less than, or equal to the number of objects in another group. As children develop their understanding of counting and cardinality, they also begin to make comparisons of quantities. The use of representational models such as dot cards and counters help children make these comparisons. When children look at concrete representations of amounts, they begin to see the relationship between the amounts. They begin to understand that successive numbers name quantities of one more, and with the development of that concept, students can relate cardinality to the concepts of more, less, and the same. Children should use a variety of activities in the classroom to help them refine their concept of more, less, and the same. One such instructional activity, which is outlined in Activity 8.9 of Van de Waal's book, Elementary and Middle School Mathematics, has students making sets of more, less, and the same. The purpose of the activity is to give students practice with those concepts through the use of object cards and counters. Students should be able to state the following learning target goals at the end of the activity. I can say which group has more matching or counting the numbers of objects in both groups. I can say which group has less by matching or counting the number of objects in both groups. I can say when groups are the same by matching or counting. You may want to formally introduce the concept with some brief examples. There are some engaging YouTube videos which would make a fine lead-ins to the classroom activity. Prior to making sets activity, prepare a workstation with 3 plates or low boxes, each labeled with a card. More, less, or the same. At the workstation, provide students with 8 cards with sets of 4 to 12 dots or other objects in a symmetrical arrangement. Here we used cats. The students will also need a container of approximately 40 cubes. Counters or other small objects. The counters should be similar in size and general appearance, although their colors may vary. The students will choose one of the object set cards and look at it. Underneath each corresponding card, the student will make 3 collections of counters. One set that is the same as the counters, one set that is the same as the amount shown on the card, one that is less than the amount shown on the card, and one that is more than the amount shown on the card. You may want to model the activity by demonstrating and talking through the general process. Children may use a variety of techniques during this activity. Some students may need to put the counters in lines or rows in order to make a comparison. Other students may vocalize their process using numbers to name the amounts. It is important to note that children generally learn the concept of more before they learn the concept of less. Be sure that you use both terms when making comparisons. For example, there are more dots on this card. Which card has less? Throughout the activity, the teacher can make observations and note the child's approach to the task. Some children may count the objects on the card. Other children may put the objects on top of the card. Notice, is the child touching each object on the card? Is the child counting each object just once? The activity should be inquiry-based with students talking about their choices. They should be able to answer the question, how do you know? In discussing their comparisons, they may show their answers by counting with manipulatives to demonstrate their understanding of value. Or they may make a one-to-one match to show that they understand the basis for their comparisons. They may also be able to just think about numerals and know which is more and less. Children demonstrate mastery of the concept of more, less, and the same when they can justify the comparison of 2 numbers with an explanation. Students with special needs should perform this activity with modified instructions. Those students should only match the set that is the same and should not be required to make any comparisons. For students who demonstrate proficiency in this task, activity extensions should be provided. These could include cards with objects in different configurations instead of even rows or lines, object cards with larger numbers or worksheets so the students can write in the corresponding numeral for the amounts. Students should be assessed using a standard Common Core assessment rubric, and students' progress should be noted in the following terms: independent, with assistance, or needs improvement. The essential knowledge necessary to master Common Core standard is the knowledge and ability to apply a solid understanding of cardinality and one-to-one correspondence, the ability to use concrete materials when comparing sets, and the ability to compare visually, to compare by matching, and compare by counting. Providing students the opportunity to practice making sets will help them develop and reinforce the concepts of more, less, and the same. So,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 cats. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 7 cats and 7 cats. So 7 is the same. So if I'm going to do less cats, I can do 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 cats are less than 7. This one has more cats. And I can do more cats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, any more. 8, 9 cats. 9 cats are more than 7 cats because I added more cats.